Am I the a-hole for losing it on my husband on the day of his family reunion? I'm a 35-year-old female married to a 38-year-old man. We have been together for 10 years and have 2 children, ages 9 and 5. My husband works very hard. He has multiple jobs throughout the week. Recently, we had a discussion about him taking time off and spending some time together. It is difficult because due to things in his past, he accumulated a lot of debt, which is why he works so much. I work 60+ hours a week and take care of the household and child care responsibilities, while much of his income goes toward paying his debts. I keep up with the household. I do the housework, lawn work, repairs, etc., and he contributes where he can. Within this year, he has taken time off for family and co-worker events. And when he does so, I'm the designated babysitter. Many days after he gets home, he is responsible for his parents. He takes them grocery shopping, fixes things at their house, and does some of their housework. I forgot to mention he is one of 5 siblings, and all 4 of them live close to his parents' home. His parents assist with child care for his siblings, but not for us. I've told him my frustrations about consistently being placed on the back burner. The other day, I lost it. I found out he invited his family to our house for a family reunion last week. I thought he had taken time off of work, but he didn't. The house was a mess, and most of the mess was his. I was expected to clean the house, get the groceries, run the kids to their weekend events, start cooking, and get the reunion set up, as he scheduled it for 4 p.m., the time he gets out of work. The kids are helpful with doing their chores and cleaning their rooms, but I got the house clean. By the time his family started pouring in, I was stewing while he was at work. He asked me why there weren't any clean towels, as he was going to take a shower, and I freaked out in front of his whole family. I ran down the list of how I am always on the back burner for these people, how I am one person, and the one contributing to the household while he works just to pay off his debts. How I have no security or support in this relationship, and how he is like having another child. I also said that all I feel like I'm worth is an occasional whenever he is in the mood. I let it all out. I ended with, I'm done. I packed a bag and took off. I sat in a parking lot, hysterical. And no, the kids weren't present. They were outside playing. He is a good father to the kids, but as a husband, I feel like I am better off by myself. I have so much resentment toward him. And no, he hasn't called. He texted me, loud and clear, which made me even angrier, because this is exactly how he deals with everything. I'm now feeling like an a-hole for going off and saying all I did, especially in front of his family. Am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments before reading the updates. So, tell him to move in with his parents while he pays off his debt. That way, he can care for them, hang with his friends, take the kids on the weekends, and do whatever he wants to do with no consideration for you. Then you can enjoy your home, your children, and your weekends to relax, all with one less giant child to care for. And then when his debts are paid, you two can sit down and decide if the best course of action is living separate lives, not the a-hole. Seriously, his parents have been fine with exploiting you, so they can benefit from the fruit of Sonny Boy's life. They can have their defective son back. Get child support too. He should finally be using some of his earnings for the kids. The straw that broke the camel's back is real. Unfortunately, the timing was bad for this, but you said things that had to be said, and it didn't do his family any harm to hear them. Now, take some deep breaths, go get some food, don't want to be hangry when you go back, marshal your thoughts, make a plan, and go rescue your kids. Try very hard to kick him out to his family and keep possession of the house for the kids' sake. Decide if him living elsewhere while you do therapy seems plausible. Whatever you do, get a lawyer. He screwed you financially for years. You need professional advice. I hope you are now in a clearer state of mind and you are ready to do what you need to do. I wish you courage and strength, good luck, and keep us updated. Now for the first update. Thank you all for the advice, the kind words, and the tough love. I came here to see if I was the a-hole and was body slammed with a lot of harsh truths. I'm not going to lie. Much of it was cathartic to hear that I'm not the a-hole, but it also hurts to realize that I am being taken advantage of. So here's where I'm at. After the loud and clear text, I was bombarded with phone calls and texts from his family. I sent a message to my husband asking for space and told him that if he cared about me and our relationship, he needed to call off his family. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, except for my children's iPad. I called my mother, sent her some money, and she picked up the kids for a special grandma date and sleepover. Once they were with her, I FaceTimed them and told them I was working. I'm not working. I had a secret rainy day fund and splurged on a nice hotel and spa day. I had a few drinks, cried my eyes out some more, unplugged from everything, and journaled all my feelings. I haven't had time to do any of that in a very long time. After that, I mustered up the courage to open Reddit and read my fate, and wow, was I surprised. I was fully expecting a ton of "you are the a-hole" comments. To clear up a few things, I shamefully do not know the full extent of his debts. Much of it was from his parents putting bills in his name. The rest is just mismanagement, credit cards, etc. I took over the finances after I found a letter in the mail saying we were going to lose the house. At the time, I was contributing to the household bills while he handled the finances. I trusted that things were okay. This was after marriage and after kids. We went to counseling because of it, and he admitted he was ashamed and afraid to tell me the truth. I took over about 3 years ago and told him to focus on clearing his debt while I held the household down. I didn't expect it to take this long, and with inflation, everything has just become more expensive and even harder for me. I was supposed to go back to school, but that was put on hold so I could catch up on what we were behind on, hence the 60-plus hour work weeks. I'm a nurse. I work 12-hour shifts, and I take as much overtime as I can. I agree with the comment saying I'm burnt out. I realized this today. I realized that, whether at work or at home, I'm constantly in critical thinking caregiver mode. My job is to care for and problem solve for everyone but myself. To clarify why his family doesn't watch our kids, they did it once, threw it in our faces, and I said never again. I see how they use him. I've said something before, but he always responds with, "One day they won't be here, and I'll wish I could have done more." I told him that's fine, but he has siblings who are equally responsible. Some who don't have spouses or kids who could also contribute. As far as the house and chores go, he does help when he can. Don't jump on me, I just want to be truthful. I think it came across that he comes home and does nothing, but he works up to 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. So most of the time, I'm doing the majority of it. As for the trips, yeah, that's a sore spot. He tells me about them, he takes the day off, and it pisses me off. I have to beg for time together, and when we finally get it, we either end up in a fight, I have to plan everything, or we can't get a sitter. So we stay home and he sleeps all day. And to be honest, I'm so full of resentment that it's almost too little too late. When I'm around him, I'm just so angry. He says I always have an attitude, that he's trying, but that nothing is ever good enough. So, I just stopped. I accepted my fate, hence the blow-up. I haven't spoken to him yet, besides telling him to call off his family. He was included in the Do Not Disturb on my phone. I'm enjoying the peace. I'm enjoying being by myself, just being present and aware of my feelings. Knowing my kids are safe and that I can truly take some time for myself and my mental health right now is everything. I know tomorrow I have to go back to reality and deal with everything. I promise to update when I can. I'm sorry to leave you all hanging if this isn't the update you were hoping for. I just want to enjoy this escape a little while longer while I can, before my world implodes. Thank you all, and please keep the advice coming. I truly am alone on this one and need all the advice and support I can get. Second update. I woke up this morning with a clear head. I'm still upset and disappointed. I had tons of voicemails from his family, but I don't have the energy to listen through them all. I don't care. Like I said, I'm angry, but I also feel embarrassed. I did call my husband this morning. I could tell by his voice that he hadn't slept last night, and he confirmed that he, in fact, did not. He told me that after the blow-up, he asked everyone to leave. He was surprised to see my mother since I had sent her to pick up the kids. He said that's when it really became real. We had a long conversation. I did apologize for exploding, for doing so when I did, and for not communicating better. He said he understands why I felt like I couldn't and was actually glad it happened the way it did. His family finally got to see how much they have affected his home. According to him, after I left, he laid into them and told them that he could no longer be the only one helping his family out, and that a lot of the mess he's in is their fault. He said that after the blow-up, he told his siblings they needed to step up and help with their parents. His parents were obviously upset with the whole ordeal. I couldn't care less, to be honest. They couldn't believe that they are such a burden because they ask for a little help from time to time. I just rolled my eyes in disgust as he was talking. My new space, along with my feelings of hurt and anger, allowed me to speak all my truths. I had nothing left to give or lose, so I told him how I felt about everything. He sat in silence for a while, then finally broke down and said he feels like a failure. He's ashamed of the debt and how much he has let us down. He said he was exhausted and has been feeling depressed because he couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel and feels as though he's ruined our future. He admitted that he goes out with his friends to feel normal and like himself because all he does is work, that he does this because of this black cloud that's been hanging over him. I wasn't my best self in this moment and told him to save me the self-pity. It's pathetic that he got himself into this mess and I'm the one digging him out. I'm freaking depressed too. There's a ton of stuff I want to do that I can't because I'm financially unable to. I went off about how, over the past 3 years, his income has gone solely to debt repayment, yet there's no end in sight, because I haven't even seen the so-called debt. I've given him my all and as much support as I could muster, but I'm angry. This isn't the life I pictured or set myself up for either. It's not the life my kids deserve. I've missed out on so much because I'm always working, always cleaning, or just so exhausted I can't even open my eyes. I told him he has no one to blame but himself. I think my disdain was concerning. He said he will show and prove that he will print out his credit report, list all his debts, provide his pay stubs, bank records, and receipts of what's been paid off, along with anything else I want regarding his finances. He promised me my hard work was not in vain and that he is almost debt-free. Come to find out, his parents opened credit cards and bills in his name when he was younger and accrued close to $100,000 of debt in his name, not including interest. They trashed his credit, and that's why it has taken so long. According to him, he has been fighting with the collection companies to settle, trying to consolidate or get a lower interest rate, as it was multiple companies and debts. What I didn't know is that some of the debts were so bad that his wages were being garnished. He was in tears and said he didn't know how to tell me, that he didn't even know the full extent of what they had done. He was basically working all these hours with nothing to take home to us, accruing more debt just to survive. I stayed silent. My blood was boiling. He didn't even realize he'd just helped me make my decision. He jokingly said my outburst took care of the family situation, and that was why he texted me loud and clear, meaning he and his family got the message. I told him I didn't find it funny. It's a shame that it took an outburst from me for everyone to hear what I've been saying all along. That he's an idiot for not filing charges against his parents, just taking it up the ass and allowing it to ruin my life and the lives of the children we created. I told him he's spineless, and I feel so stupid. He said he didn't call me because he knew how mad I was and was scared he would say the wrong thing, just like that. I thanked him for his honesty and the conversation, but I told him I am so broken, angry, and hurt right now that I can't even pick up my own pieces, let alone his. Right now, I need to clear my head. He said he's willing to do whatever it takes to turn this around. He even suggested marriage counseling. He told me he used his PTO and took the rest of the week off to work on this. I lost it and sobbed uncontrollably. If it was that easy to take time off, why now and not then? I asked him, why didn't I matter before we got here? Why now? I told him he needs the time off to find counseling, both personal and legal, that I won't be coming home. He asked me if I was serious. He begged me to rethink my decision. He said all the things I've been wanting to hear. He asked me where I was going to go. What about the kids? The house, the bills, that I couldn't tear the kids away from the only home they know. I simply replied, I know this is what needs to be done, and I've already set the ball in motion. He hung up on me. I cried, then went to get the kids. We are going to have a wonderful week in a somewhat fancy hotel, swim in the pool, order room service, and make some memories. I took some of the money I had saved in my rainy day fund and extended my hotel stay to include me and the kids. I have an awful lot to catch up on with them. The look on their faces when I said, "No, Mommy doesn't have to work tonight," was priceless. I also have an appointment with legal consultants tomorrow. Hopefully, I can talk to a lawyer and figure out what's next. Wish me luck, everyone, and thanks again. Good Lord, what a mess. I can honestly say that I was not expecting OP to go the divorce route. They don't usually go for that right away on these posts. Proud. This is a case of walk-away wife syndrome. She didn't explode until she was all the way done. He's used to attending to only the kettle that's screeching, so he ignored her steadily boiling away for years. When she finally screeched, he thought he could transfer a little attention her direction for a while, but no, it was already too late. Yep, kettle is empty. All the water boiled away and the bottom is ruined. No way to repair or salvage it. You know, a lot of things I could forgive. A lot. But the fact that he is crying about having so much debt and feeling like such a failure, yet he can take himself on little vacations, while his wife continues to literally slave away with no breaks whatsoever, it just screams that he doesn't love her. If he did, those vacations would have been for them, him and his wife, because he would have wanted to make sure she got a break as well. Instead, it was all about him. It was all about his parents. His wife and kids are just there, being taken care of by his wife, while he still has the mentality of being his parents' son first and foremost. This situation is too much to salvage. I think he can improve and be a better man and husband, but not for OP. She has suffered too much, and I just can't imagine she would ever be able to heal enough to trust him again. He didn't treat her as a partner. He needs to be single for a while and sort out his mess before he is good for anyone. I sincerely hope, from the bottom of my heart, that he gets into very intense therapy, so someone can give him the tools he needs to fix his seriously messed up mentality. I don't know if he is willing. It would involve going low to no contact with his parents. But for the sake of his kids, and for his sake, I hope he does. And I hope for OP a quick and easy divorce and custody agreement. Last story. Am I the a-hole for setting up a camera in my boyfriend's room to catch his sister stealing my stuff and now refusing to go back to their house? So, my boyfriend lives with his mom and sister. And since we live close to each other, I used to leave a lot of my stuff at his place to avoid hauling it back and forth all the time. You know, the usual: shampoo, conditioner, skincare, even some clothes. Over time, I started noticing little things going missing. At first, I thought I was just being forgetful. I have ADHD, so losing track of my stuff isn't exactly unheard of. But then, the incident happened. I had just bought a brand new 1-liter bottle of Wella conditioner because hair care is serious business. A week later, almost half of it was gone, which made zero sense because 1, I had also bought the matching shampoo, and 2, I always use more shampoo than conditioner. Yet somehow, the conditioner had vanished at twice the speed, and within a week, nearly half of it was gone. Meanwhile, my shampoo bottle, same size, was totally fine. Meanwhile, my boyfriend's sister, who had previously been complaining about needing to buy conditioner all the time, suddenly wasn't. So, after a few more of my things mysteriously vanished, I decided I needed proof. I set up a camera in my boyfriend's room, facing the spot where I kept my stuff, and waited. And oh boy did I get proof. Not only did his sister go through my things multiple times, but she also rummaged through my personal bag. Like, straight up opened it and looked inside. Twice. And who knows how many other times she did it before I caught her on camera. At this point, my boyfriend and I agreed we needed to confront her. We told his mom first, hoping to handle it civilly. His mom called his sister into the room, and we showed her the footage. And this girl with a straight face lied to our faces, even with video evidence. And then somehow, I became the bad guy. His mom completely turned the situation against me, saying I had no right to put a camera in their house without her permission. Right, because catching someone stealing my things is worse than, actually stealing? Then, because apparently that wasn't enough, she decided to throw in, "It's always your trauma and your ADHD, so you're never wrong." I took a deep breath, kept my cool, and said, "I'm gonna leave now because this conversation is no longer rational. But go ahead and make me the villain, so you can keep letting your daughter avoid responsibility." Then I walked out. His mom never apologized, and I feel bad because my boyfriend is very emotional and isn't eating well. He says he doesn't feel hungry, and the way his mom said harmful things to me really hurt. So I'd like to ask you guys, am I the a-hole for setting up the camera? A short edit to include some information. 1. My boyfriend knew about the camera. 2. My boyfriend and I are both 27. His sister is 20 or 21, I'm not sure, and his mom is 58. 3. His sister has the means to buy her own conditioner. She gets what would be like $300 monthly from her dad and uses her dad's credit card. Now for the comments. Not the a-hole, but I advise you to never go to your boyfriend's house again. If he didn't stand up for you while his mother disrespected you, I advise you to break up. You will never be his priority, and he will make you feel guilty for defending yourself. He absolutely did. He pointed out everything wrong about the situation and how we wouldn't have any evidence if it wasn't for the camera. His sister would have denied, and I would be the bad guy either way. And as you have discovered, if you are a thief, you are a liar. They go hand in hand. I agree with others. Do not go back there. Let boyfriend come to your place. That's what we're doing. He's coming to my place.